הקדוש בוקר אור, בן איש חי פרשת כי תיסה, פתיחה. says the פתיחה. ויאמר אם נא מצאתי חן מעיניך, השם, ילכנה השם בקרבנו, כי כשעורף הוא, וסלחת לעווננו ולחטאתנו ונחלתנו. So he says, if I'm going to find favor in your eyes, Hashem should come in our midst, right? כי כשעורף הוא, this is a stiff-necked nation. You know people that are stiff-necked? I know a lot of them, yeah? וסלחת לעווננו ולחטאתנו וחלתנו. Says you should forgive them. Yeah, לעווננו ולחטאתנו ולחלתנו. יש לשאול, so he comes and he asks, היה לו לומר לחטאתנו קודם. Why does it say וסלחת לעווננו and then חטאתנו? a chet, like for example חטאת. Chatat is a sin offering, it's done by accident. And an avon is on purpose. So first you should do the lighter ones, and then the stricter ones. Viduy. So it comes out, that it's known, the name Kelashe Adnut, Hua Meir, right? Ba'asiyah umisparo tzadik vav. So when you have adnut, right, Aleph Daled Nun Yod, how much is it? 65. Adnut, Aleph Daled Nun Yod. What's 36?
86, is that Elokim?
Yeah, that's Elokim. Yeah. No, Adnut. Adnut is 65. If you add to 65, 31. Right, 31, so it becomes 96. Okay? V'amru Razal, so Razal say, En Tzav Ela avodah zarah. When it says tzav, right, because that's the tzadik vav, that's going to be avodah zarah. Lachen Shem HaKadosh El Adnut shemisparo tzadik vav mean ba'asiyah leachnia klipa. It comes to humble the klipot, which is called tzav sheba'asiyah, and that's why it says in a pasuk in Yeshaya, tzav latzav, kav lakav. Pirush Shem HaKadosh El Adnut, right, El Amonai. Right? El Hashem vayalanu, yeah? El Hashem. Shehu mispar tzav, machnia letzav teklipa d'avodah zarah. Vine, now he's going to say, Shem Yisrael b'miluo. How do you do Shem Yisrael? So if you're going to do Shem Yisrael the way that you would spell it out, it's Yod, Shin, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, the way that it's spelled there. You see, that's called Hashem Yisrael b'miluo, the way that you would spell it out. So that's a Yod Vav Daled, right? And it continues there. So he says, Hatoch, right? V'akarev shel otiyot haniskarot, ole mispar Shem HaKadosh el adnut hameir ba'asiyah u'machniya tzav d'avodah zarah. So therefore he says, right, the inside, right, is actually going to come and going to be the numerical value of El Adnut. Okay. That's what you did. You did the toch, the middle of each one. Okay? So now he comes and he says, so the middle of hatoch, right? Bekirba, inside of it. Something inside. Right? Of the otiyot haniskarot, ole mispar Shem HaKadosh, El Hashem, hamir ba'asiyah machniya tzav d'avodah zarah. V'zeu she'amar, and this is what it means, ata, achar ma'aseh ha'egel. Now after the egel, now there's much more avodah zarah, because when they did the egel hazav, it's avodah zarah. Yelechna Hashem b'kirbenu. That's why we want davka. Yelechna Hashem. Hashem is adnut b'kirbenu, within us. Daika, right? Kromar titkaber ha'ara Hashem el adnut haremuza bekerev otiyot shemenu. It is going to be hinted within the name of Israel. Ya'an, why? Because they're a stiff-necked nation. Because they came and they strengthened with the avodah zarah, the avon avodah zarah, other gods. Because we know that other gods are the klipot. That's why it's 86. Eno pevav tov. It's not the 86 of good. Ela pevav ra. Right? It's the pevav which is bad. And that is orif. What is orif? Ra Peivav. Capish? Shuotiyot Peivav Ra. Shikshu otam v'giburim. Right? Sorry, v'giburim alidei ma'aseh egel. So therefore, basically, what did happen? He went and he strengthened them to the ma'aseh egel. Lekach, and therefore, tzarich shi'eh lanu ezer v'siyua la'achanat ha'klipa. That's why we need help to humble the klipa of the zara. In E'arat Shem El Adonut Arumuza B'Kibenu, which is entered from within us. But En Kadain La'et Ata La'asot Tshuva. We cannot do the tshuva, which is going to be me'afech havonot le'zchuyot b'pam achat. Ela yeh hipuch havonot b'adragot. You have to go in a dargot. You have to go to v'tchila v'salachta la'avonenu, which is the zidonot. Shiu b'madrigot madriga lechatatenu shegagot. And then afterwards, u'chaltanu shiu hachataot zechuyot. Shikansu right likdusha liot nachalat sitra dikdusha. Do you know that the Ben Ish Chai has a sefer called Ben Ish Chai? And in the Ben Ish Chai, it's basically drashot on the arba parashiot, right? On the 4 parashiot. Shabbat Zachor, Shabbat Hagadol, Shabbat Kala, Shabbat Teshuvah. And those Kala, Shabbat Kala is the one right before Shavuot. Shabbat Derech Eretz. Shabbat before Shavuot. Shabbat Hagadol before Pesach. Shabbat Kala or Shabbat Derech Eretz before Shavuot. Shabbat Teshuvah, Shabbat Teshuvah, and Shabbat Zachor. And he made very long derashot, meaning like extra long derashot, because all the other ones was the Ben Ish Chai and everything, but he used to make very, very long derashot, talking about hours and hours and hours in speaking during those Shabbatot. And I remember that once I was learning the Ben Ish Chai, that the Ben Ish Chai he brought down in Shabbat Teshuvah, he was speaking about that what's greater, right? Obviously, Teshuvah me'ahava, Teshuvah me'ira. So we know that really be'emet what's better, Teshuvah me'ahava. Why? Because it's ofech the zedonot to zechuyot, not only zedonot to shkagot. It's Teshuvah me'ira. But he said that it's impossible to start with Teshuvah me'ahava. You always have to do Teshuvah me'ira, and after doing Teshuvah me'ira, then you could do Teshuvah me'ahava. So that's what he's saying here also. He's saying that you cannot come and right away do Teshuvah me'ahava and change the avonot to... No. You have to do it by dragot. You have to do it with dragot. So what do? You first start with, right, yira. You first, and that's what he's saying, that you're first changing the avonot to hataot. Afterwards, you could change the hataot to zechuyot. Okay? V'nei hadavar hazeh yipaleh. So he says, look at this astonishing thing. Moshe bechir Hashem. Yeah, look at Moshe, the chosen one of Hashem. Ma avon ma chatat yesh biyado. What sin does he have? Shichnitz atzmo, that he comes and he says, la'avonenu chatatenu. Kilu, that he did the chatat, he did the avon. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't do anything. He said, look at this nation. It's them. They're a bunch of, No. He's saying on us. On us. ואולם הדבר מובן על פי מה שאמר רבנו אריזה בשאר הכוונות, מלבד מה שנענש האדם על חטאיו. Not only is the person going to be punished for their sins, או נענש על חברו מטעם ערבות. You're also going to be punished on your friends, right, because of arevut. Which means if you're going to come and you're going to see somebody on the island doing an avirah, right, you're also punished. It's not only just on yourself. You can't just say, Shalom aleich nafshi, don't worry about myself, I'm good. Whatever he does, it's his business. You get punished for it as well. So he says, Shekol Yisrael, he says, also on the Chaviro, Shekol Yisrael em guf echad, kalum mevarim rabbim. So at the end of the day, we're all one body, made out of many different limbs, many different organs. Right? Viduy lashon rabbim. That's why in Sheket Gdula, they did everything in plural. Asham nu, Pagad nu, Tibarnu, right? Ragazalnu, Dibandofi, everything is in plural. Why? Right? No, not on Shabbatenu. Right? You have to do it for yourself. On Shabbatenu, you leave them alone. Yeah, you're the sinner, not you're on Shabbatenu. Your wife's a tzadeket. Yeah, right, it's you. Right? So what happens? The question is, why is it Lashon Rabim? Should be Lashon Yachid. Ashamti, right? Bagadti, right? Gazalti, Divarti Dofi, right? Everything plural. He comes and he says, no. He says, because of that. ולא, not only that, אלא שצריך אדם לומר כל פרטי הווידוי, אף על פי שיודע בעצמו שאין בו מכל הדברים האלה. For example, a person that knows that he never in his life stole. He never committed adultery. Right? So that he still has to say it. Why? Because of that. right? ואינו חושש, היא מדברת שקר, no. והיינו טעמה כי הוא יתחייב עוונות של אחרים, because of עבירות. Right? I would have said a different answer. I would have said that because there's many subcategories as well, that be'emet is also considered like that. For example, gezel, there's avak gezel. So maybe you're right to say that you're a thief, that you would go and actually steal money from someone. Maybe not, but maybe you were like a khamsan, or you called some, which is also like a type of a form of a stealing. Or maybe you were, you're right. Adultery? Nah, you're a tzaddik. You're not actually going to go. But maybe you were looking and you were, shuf einik a little bit too much, and you were looking at something that you shouldn't have been looking, and she's a married woman. So okay, so you're right. Adultery, the real, no. So I would have said, but here he's saying another answer. Here he's saying, no, the fact that at the end of the day, every single Jew is also chayav midin arevut, and the fact that arevut, so therefore, even though you didn't do anything whatsoever, doesn't matter. You're still obligated to come and to do it. So he says, okay, והיינו טעמה כי הוא יתחייב עוונות של אחרים מצד ערבות שם, ולכן מובן הדבר שזה, that also Moshe Rabbeinu, even though he was a tzaddik gamur, כלל עצמו עמהם. He included himself. And he said, לעבורנו חטאתנו מכוח הערבות. Okay? Fine. א', כתב החסל אלפים. says the חסל אלפים. יש לומר כל פרטי הווידוי. You have to say all the details of the viduy. You have to be sure about the נזכרים בווידוי. Even though you don't have everything. Remember, who's the חסל אלפים? Pele Yuetz. Eliezer Papo. Eliezer Papo, the Pele Yuetz, Mechutan of the Rav Chida, right? He comes and he writes down that a person has to come and say all the details of the Viduy, even though you don't have one of the things of the Viduy. The entire Bnei Yisrael are one body, and especially if you could rebuke and you didn't rebuke, that it's called on you. Just like the Gemara Masechet Shabbat says, Al Parato shel Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, the Parah of Elazar ben Azariah, that he came out with this tzua between its horns. Shelo haita. It was never his. So what do you mean? It was his shachen. It was his neighbor's cow. So he says, but the fact that he didn't rebuke the neighbor, it was called his parah. Meaning you had a parah that didn't even belong to him. But it was called his parah because what? Because he didn't rebuke the neighbor. He had to tell the neighbor, what are you doing? Being Mechalel Shabbat. He didn't say anything. The fact that he didn't say anything, it's his parah that was going on Shabbat, doing that. Right? The gam od. Yeah, it's not easy. Oh, you think you just you just think you get away with everything. Huh? You get away with everything. The gam od.
It's the opposite.
One second. The gam od, הוא עצמו צריך להתוודות על מה שחטא בגלגולים שעברו גם כן. Also, you have to be, right? You have to do the vidui, that which you did in previous gilgulim. You don't know what you did in the previous gilgul. You know what you did in previous gilgul? You don't know. Maybe you did all these things. And that's what you come and you say, Chatanu, Anachnu, Vavotenu. Anachnu, Vavotenu is not your fathers. Right? Leave your father alone. It's Vavotenu, it means the Gilgulim HaKodmim, that they are called the Avot to this body. Shehu ata od otabo. Ve'onami, Ikatama b'mei kol vidui, ta'adam nidon lefi ma shehu. Also, a person is going to be judged according to that which they are. Because we found by Reuven, when it says, V'yishkavim bilah, it says that he slept with his stepmother. Now, 1 second, you think he really actually slept with his stepmother? But it says he was Bilbeli to Aviv. He went and he switched the beds. And the fact that he switched his father's bed, it's ki'ilu that he slept with his stepmother, his father's wife. It's written also in the children of Eli Kohen. We just brought this in the Kinyan Masechet a few days ago. That he slept with they slept with women. Why? They brought a ken to the Bet HaMikdash, right? No, it wasn't Bet HaMikdash at the time, it was the Mishkan, but they brought their kens. Remember, the ken is the birds, right, in order to bring the sacrifices, and they didn't bring it right away. They waited. So on the fact that they had to wait an extra day, they didn't go back to their husbands, and they weren't pure. So therefore, it was ki'ilu that they slept with them. Do you really think that they were sleeping with married women? No, but ki'ilu, ubnei Shmuel natu achrei habetza. The children of Shmuel and Levi, they went after money. Because they were looking even though she was divorced. She did Tevilah even. And not only that, she waited 3 months because of Abchana. That means she was divorced. She did Tevilah Nidah. She waited 3 months to make sure that she wasn't pregnant of the other husband, right? But still, right? For example, so you see here that there's a lot of things that you're saying, what? You did avodah zarah? I've never did avodah zarah. Yeah, but you just got angry. You started going crazy. You just did avodah zarah. You were mitgaeh. You were haughty. You put your nose up in the air. Avodah zarah. So that's why. That's why I told you before. That was the answer. But sometimes that you're doing it, you don't realize. So because of all these reasonings, you're going to say kol pratei viduy. Kanizkar sham. Fine. Halacha bet. Call them a viduy. Before the viduy, you're going to say aval chatanu avinu pashanu anachnu b'avotenu. Right? Kamo shekatuv b'sidur Rabbeinu harashash. Yeah. Right. The Ben Ishchai says v'nshabeten. Yeah. So he says, but that's the rashash. L'chen tzarich leosif chamisha otiyot mantzepach. You also have to add in the 5 letters of the mantzepach. Sheomar kizavnu kaasnu. Maranu marinu dvarecha, niatznu niafnu, pashanu pagamnu, tsaranu tsarnu, which means every single letter of the alphabet only has one, right? Achamnu, there's no other one, right? Bagannu, there's only one bet, there's one gimel, one dalet, one hey, right? But when it comes to these mantzepach, you add an extra one because the otiyot sofiot. So therefore, that's why when it comes to kaf, which is the last letter over there, mantzepach, right? You have double. Maranu, right? Niatznu, Pashanu, Tsaranu. Right? Each one has the double one. That's also the.
You don't have that in the.
Halacha Gimel says, Yakeh ba'et viduy biyad yamin. You're going to hit with the right fist, the right hand, when you're doing the viduy. Kafuf kegrof, that it's going to be bent, right, like a fist. Alalev on the heart, which is going to be omed b'tzad small, which is on the left side. Remember that the heart is on the left side, not on the right side.
That's not on the left of the heart.
No, on the left side, right? It's on the heart. You're doing it on the heart, but it's on the left side. No, not on the
left because the Yetzer Hara is
no. It's on the left side because that's on the heart. Hakaot benachat, sviv nachat. Some people they come and you hear their bangs from I don't know where they're pounding. No poundings. Yeah. Kol teva min viduy hakah, and every single word you have hakah. It's brought on Shal Kavanot. So it means it's like this. When you're going to take the left dad, which is the left like nipple, right? You're going to take 4 or 5 fingers, right? And that's where it's going to be, right? The heart, right? You take over here, 4 or 5 fingers. This is where the heart is. Okay? So you should do it there on the heart. Not above. Right, right, the malamina dad, which is above the right up here, right, or on the dad that's small. Meaning, don't do it here because here it's too high. This is lemala dad, above the nipple area, and not on it either. It should be just below, mamash, just below, right here. Look, this is where it is, just below, because this is where it is. So right here, okay. So he says, right, v'atam demakal alev. So what are you doing on the heart? The pshat lehorot, right? He says the pshat is lehorot to teach us that lev garam lo kol avonot. It's a heart that causes everything, but be'emet it's not the ikaratam. It's just the tam nisal k'fi yasod is brought in the Rizal HaKadosh Shal Kavanot she'oseh adam hakah gzo al alev tikun gadol. He's been doing a very big tikun. So obviously it's al pi Kabbalah. You should say pashtut. Listen, the heart is where the ratzon is. So anything that kol lecha achar ratzon. So therefore, that's why you're hitting the heart. Really, be'emet is doing a tikun gadol. Okay, daled. Achara viduy. After the viduy, techef yomar, immediately you should say, right? Vayavor, and you give him midot rachamim. Okay. He says here, v'tzarich lomram bechavanat halev. Right, you have to do a kavanah, benachat, slowly, matun, right, with patience. U'matzati katuv, shimnei you give him midot vayavor with your fingers. So he found actually that you should actually count them. Now it says over here, right, that Rav Ovadia, that's what it brings down here in the Hilchot Olam and also Yaakov Yosef. Rav Ovadia says it's such a big machloket rishonim and the mekubalim. What exactly are the 13 midot rachamim in the Vayavor, right? Meaning which one does it start from? What's the order? So therefore, you shouldn't count them with the fingers. Because if you're going to come and you're going to start counting them, which shita are you doing? You're going to do Hashem Hashem. Which one starts? Which one is machlokot? Which one? In the 13. So therefore, so the Ben Ish Chai is saying, Imna Yud Gimel Midot Rachamim, and count them in your fingers. Just like you do 11 ketoret. Minhag Yafeh V'Nachon. Ve'chen Noheg, and that's his minhag. Shizba is a toelet gdola lamachshava, right? V'kavana, in order to help out the machshava and the kavana. V'gam minyan moreh al ma'ala v'chashivut, and also shows that the fact that you're counting it, it's important. Yesh medaktakim v'shovim yigom imdot zayot yot shelahem kriyato, right? Otam ktuvim yifram sidur. Some people that actually do it, that they're forming the letters in front of them, like they're written in the sidur. Just like the Reb Chaim Volozhin says to do with Amidah. U'minhag yafeh. But when you do it quickly, he has to take much longer. So therefore, basically, right, you can't do everything. Imagine right now you're going to start thinking, 1 second, you're going to do El, so you're thinking Aleph, Lamed, then Rachum, Resh, Chet, and you're thinking, it's going to take, I don't know how long, you understand? So obviously you won't have the time to do that. But again, according to Rav Vada, you do not count it with your fingers because of the machlokot that we have of the order. And I brought down in my book, Kavtziel, Im Omer Adam Yudgim Midot Im Hatzibur V'hem Marim Ligmor Otam. V'oderem B'mechitzatam, right? Let Lamba, there's no problem. But that means it's considered that he's tweeting it in the Tzibur. Kevan Shitchil B'hem in Tzibur. The fact, that means basically like this. That means if he's gonna,
what does it mean?
He's still there with them, meaning he's still with the Tzibur, even though he's not at their pace.
Okay.
They ran ahead, and he's still there. So here it says here, וכתב הרב שכהגמנה שלא נשארו לפחות 6 אומרים עדיין י"ג מידות, אין רשאי לאומרם דרך תפילה ובקשת רחמים, אבל יכול לסיים במילתם טעמי מקרא. So according to Rav Ovadia Yosef, if you don't have 6 people that are still saying the י"ג מידות רחמים, meaning you're taking much longer than everybody else, you have to finish it with טעמי המקרא. The kol sheken, if you started to say the Viduy with the tzibur, and until they finish the Viduy, right, they already finished the yugim midot rachamim, for sure you have to do it like Kriyat Torah with Ta'amei HaMikra. Mamash like Ta'amei HaMikra. Okay? Hey. Bachara Viduy. After the Viduy and yugim midot rachamim, techef u'miyad mil you do Nefilat Apayim. Ki shlosha ele tzrichim להיות סמוכים זה לזה. They have to be immediately one after another. You need the Viduy, you give him midot rachamim and Nefilat Apayim. Okay? Ya'an, al yedei amidat Viduy, because when you come and you say the Viduy, mekatreg lokeach elko bet Viduy. So the mekatreg takes the chelek, and then olech lo, he leaves. Then nifrash b'makom kedusha, and it's separated from the makom kedusha. ואז נעשים שני מיני זיווגים למעלה בשני מכינות. Then you do 2 zivugim above with 2 different portions. האחד בעת המידות, one of them during the time you go midot rachamim, one of them during the time in Nefilat Apayim. So we don't want the strangers to come to the Makom HaKodesh to be metamem Mishkan Hashem. It's brought down Mishkar HaKavanot. Lachen, and therefore, also Monday and Thursday, en lafsik ben Viduy Nefilat Apayim. You don't do a hefsek between Viduy and Nefilat Apayim, ותחנונים הנוספים בימים ההם. אלא יומנים נפילת תכף, ואחר כך עומדים ואומרים אותם תחנונים מלמד חשב. So first you do them together, and then you do that. ופה ידינו בבגדד היה מנהגם מזמן קדמון לומר ב-75 קודם תחנונים נוספים קודם נפילת אפיים, ותילו להם ביטלנו מנהג זה, ונהגנו לומר נפילת אפיים, כמו שאמר רבנו אריזה. This is something incredible. You see how all the Jews, even in the diaspora, you're talking about from Baghdad to Morocco, to Tunisia, to everywhere, they all had the same minhagim. Little by little, they changed, whether it's because of the Kabbalah, meaning, look in your Sidur, take the Sidur. On a regular weekday, what do? Anna, which is a Viduy, right? Ashavnu Baganu Viduy. After the Viduy, you'd give me Midot Rachamim. After you give me Midot Rachamim, Nefilat Apayim. How do you do it on Monday and Thursday? So Monday and Thursday, the way that it was, and that's what he's saying, this was Minhag of Baghdad, and this was the Minhag of the majority of Morocco as well. The Minhag of majority of Morocco was, Monday and Thursday, you start with Elmaleh Yoshev Rachamim. Page 76.
That's why you have in there, you have a Nefilat Apayim at the end.
In the middle. Nefilat Apayim at the end and the Viduy in the middle. Why? Because the real minhag was, on Monday and Thursday, you start Elmaleh Yoshev Rachamim. That's why it starts on the top. Look at the top. Tachanun l'shani v'chamishi. Page 76. Tachanun l'shani v'chamishi. Elmaleh Yoshev Rachamim, you do the Anshe Munah or the Tamanu, you continue. Then you do the Viduy. Right? The Viduy is page 78. Right? After the Viduy, you continue going with other Tachanunim. And then you do the Nefilat Apayim afterwards. Says the Ben Ishchai, that was a minhag in Baghdad as well. Not only minhag in Morocco, that was the minhag of Baghdad. Just like in Morocco, the exact same minhag.
Everyone changed it.
Not okay. 1 second. In Morocco, there's still a lot of people that still do it this way.
Really?
Yes. In Gibraltar, until today, they do it this way. In Tangiers, they did like Dariza, which means that they first did always the Viduy and Nefilat Apayim, and then they did the rest. But in a lot of other places in Morocco, until today, Gibraltar until today, certain parts of Venezuela until today, they would do like this. Meaning, Elmaleh in the middle is the Viduy. After the Viduy, they continue with other Tachanunim, and then Nefilat Apayim. Now again, the Ben Ishchai is saying that they were mevatel et zeh. Again, everything's al pi Arizal HaKadosh, right? But technically speaking, before the Arizal HaKadosh, think about it. All of Am Yisrael, right? They were doing like that.
They're doing all of Viduy.
Yamim she'en omrim b'hem Viduy, gimel midot v'nefilat apayim. The days that you do not say Viduy, you gimel midot nefilat apayim. Vadai has it's still done above the zivugim, al pi Kabbalah and everything. Ach nasim alehem. But they do it on their own because of the zechut of the Kiddushah of those days. Kach margela bepumayu derabbanan mekubalim. That's what's brought down, right, in the names of the mekubalim. And I heard people say, and they would do it in their minds. Because that's their derech to be mechaven b'shavat zeh, all the mitzvot shenidachim mechamat Shabbat. For example, tkiyat shofar, netilat lulav, meaning it's Shabbat. You can't be tukah the shofar. It's Rosh Hashanah, yeah? You can't be tukah the shofar. It's a Shabbat Sukkot. Right? You can't do the sukkah. So what's going to happen? V'im tomar, now if you're going to ask, yamim shem chol gamur, Shalom Viduy Nefilat Apayim, right? Mechamat haya chatan umila. There's a chatan or brit milah in the Bet Knesset. So how are you going to do the Shalom Gemara? Betfilat Tzibur shebanu b'to Bet Knesset. Hatshuvah lezeh, the Tfilat ota Tzibur nishlemet mitfilat Tzibur acher. That means basically it's going to be fixed by another one. They did do Nefilat Apayim, Viduy and everything. Everyone, all the kilot, they go up together. ספרי הקטן מקבצאל עשיתי חיזוק טעם לטעם זה מה שכתב רבנו מהרחב, החיים ויטל לשאר הכוונות, וזהו ספר תורה, וזהו לשונות. This is what he says. זמן הרבה התפלל מורי ז"ל בביתו בעשרה, ולא חשש שיש שם ספר תורה לקרוא בו יום אחד בשבת. So a lot of time he used to pray in the house. Yeah? So he says, right, and he wasn't worried about the Sefer Torah. ואיך תהיה תפילתו של רבנו נר ישראל חסרה חס ושלום מנהרת הנושא בפתיחת ההיכל, ספר תורה. How could it be that he was lacking קריאת התורה? אלא מוכרח לומר ששמח בזה השאר קהילות שמוצאים ספר תורה באותם ימים, מה שעושים בשאר קהילות יהיו לי גם לקהילה שלו, כי הכל נכלל יחד. ועל דרך זה אני אומר, מתפלל מציבור וריח לא שמע חזרה. גם תפילתו תהיה שלמה בסוד החזרה. מאחר שנכלל תפילת התורה מציבור והוא יפה מהך. מאחר שבאמת הוא מתפלל למים יחד. Basically like this. Basically it was going on that the Chaim Vital came and he said that his rabbi was praying with a minyan in the house for a while, but there was no Sefer Torah there. Whether it was during the weekday, whether it was during Shabbat. So he comes and he says, okay, fine, but what about the Sefer Torah? So here in the footnote, it already brings down that Rav Vadia says that you have to remember that Kriyat Torah is Chovam Tzibur, right? And not a Yachid. There's no Chiyuv of Kriyat Torah Chalalav.
Yes, I mean, not only he didn't have a Sefer Torah, but also he didn't have a minyan.
No. Well, okay. Here it's mashma that he did have the minyan, it's just not the Sefer Torah.
On the
right? On the Kriya of another Bet Knesset. So he said, why? Because you're saying that one Bet Knesset is mashlim for another. But then he says, fine, so the same halacha applies to somebody that's saying Amidah in a very, very long time, and he skips out the Chazara, because basically he listen to Chazara, he's doing a very long Amidah. So it's going to be Nishlam im Zeh. Now he says, V'daber sifri הקטן מקבצי לבית דברי הרב אמל יעקב בשפת אמת. Right? ושאלה שנשאל הרב חסיד זה מינת הארץ. על ימים שבהם נפילת מים מכוח מנהג. For example, there's only certain days that it's only because of minhag, not because of something really bemet. For example, right? Yamim achrei Pesach, or after Sukkot, or Yamim Milah, v'chatan v'chayotze b'zeh. That's only minhag. It's not halacha. So minyan nefilat apayim, no discover. It's not written chazal. It's not written after Pesach. We say, listen, majority of the month you don't have nefilat apayim, so don't do it after Pesach. Majority, but it's not written there. Everything. So what's going on? So the Katav and he said, Hayaret v'Hashem v'avi b'sav v'abba b'sad Hashem. He should say by himself. The Ana Avda Pikpak, but I'm very safek in his words. The Gami Shiuchiach mean Rosh Chodesh. He brought a proof from Rosh Chodesh. Also pick matala b'zeh. וגם הספרת בן יעקב, שחידש בעצמו לכוון מקרא, דור אנסים שלום. ורק על מה שכתב לכוון מחשבה וידתי. Now, there, הודיתי ותבוא לברכה. Meaning, if you're going to do it in your mind, that's one thing. Then I agree to him. You could do it in your mind, but not to actually do the Viduy. כתב לי ידידנו הרב הגאון, right, החסיד, right, there's רב אליהו מני, נראה, שמצא מפי הרב החסיד הירא, right, שכתב את זה לשונו, מנהג קדום מבטל, right, right, לכוון עם כל הכוונות בלב, בין החזרה לקדיש. It means between the חזרה and the קדיש, is to have the כוונות of doing the entire Viduy. They wouldn't actually say it, but they would have that in the כוונות, and that's what they would actually, right, be doing. Have a wonderful day.